FF Wicks here, bringing you yet again another video here to the channel. Today's video, we're going to be covering the next few rounds here of the draft. We hope you guys have been enjoying this so far and have found this to be quite insightful. And yeah, we'll just hop right on into the video and let you guys see how it plays out.
Then I took Marshawn Lloyd. I don't know too much about Marshawn, but he could be a better option than A.J. Dillon, since he's the third option for the Packers. But ultimately, just look at the picture. He's wearing a red suit, like just somebody you'd really take home to the mother. So that's kind of why I picked him.
Well, I'll say this much, and I'm not a huge Cowboys fan, as you guys know. But Ryan, I do think that you might have got a steal taking Rico there, because I don't think Zeke is gonna. I think Zeke, he's gonna be part of the offense, but it wouldn't surprise me if Rico ends up being a surprise this year. So I think that wasn't a bad pick at all.
Now, the Lloyd one, I'm personally not sold on too much because I think Josh Jacobs will have a big bulk of the carries there. And then you never know who you're going to get between him and Dylan. And Dylan has shown like he can play pretty well from time to time. It's never consistent, but it's hard to judge who that like second guy is going to be there. And if you were to take a running back here, I personally would have taken Gibson because he's a receiving back and he will be in the game to relieve Stevenson there in New England. So for me, I probably would
Well,
have
let's
taken
be
Gibson,
honest.
but
Ryan took him because of his red suit. So
That's what I'm saying.
I like the Marshawn Lloyd pick. A couple reasons. One, I think AJ Dillon's trash, and I think he's kind of proven that over the years. He's a really good runner. He's not good on the goal line. He has big quads. That's about it. Secondly, Matt LaFleur's always ran a committee system. I mean, and for God's sakes, they were running a committee with AJ Dillon. Like, if we can get anybody better than AJ Dillon, I feel like they're going to run a committee a little bit more efficiently. And I also am not fully sold on Josh Jacobs for whatever reason. Just kind of a gut feeling. Anyways, but that's neither here nor there. I took Kendre Miller over Antonio Gibson, and because I already have Stevenson. Kendre Miller, probably kind of an unknown guy with the Saints running back. They drafted
no,
him.
he's not.
Day two guy last year for the Saints. Kind of an insurance policy for Kamara. If Kamara were to go down, I feel like he could step into a big role there. And the upside of it is it's like a 50-50 split with him and Kamara, and he's a serviceable like flex slot guy. If the chances that Kamara like does take a step back and Kendra takes a step up, they could be a splitting backfield. Or if Kamara were to go down, he would step right in. That's the thought process.
I think that was a great pick. I think Miller has a lot of upside, and I think he's going to be more active in the Saints offense than people think this year.
Facts. Moving on. Tell me about Mr. McCaffrey here.
So this is my hot take right here. Take it to the bank, boys. Because I know you guys are examining every move I make.
Nope.
But
your team.
This guy right here, I think he's gonna really show some people how good he is. I get it. I mean, everybody talks about his brother. But this guy's I think he's gonna be a really good receiver in the league. I think he's gonna be a lot like his dad when his dad played for Denver. And I'm hearing a lot of rumblings around how well he's doing in camp. And I really think that he has a chance to actually overtake Dotson as the number 2 receiver in Washington.
Interesting.
I don't hate the pick.
Take it for what it's worth, boys, but there you go.
I don't hate the pick, but you want two receivers from the same team on your roster?
Listen, to me, it was late. It was late in the round, late in the draft, right? And if something happens with McLaurin, I think that he could step up. The other thing I was thinking is if he does pop off, you know me, guys, I like to trade. So
Okay.
What's the thought
Interesting.
process here, Brandon?
Well, Aaron Rodgers, I just wanted a backup quarterback, and it's A-Rod. Like, the dude is just a beast with the ball in his hands, so I feel like I don't need to explain too much from there. He's got the weapons around him from Breece Hall to Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Lazard. Like, he has all he needs, so I feel like I don't need to do too much explaining there. Um, Darnell Mooney, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have a hot take here. I think he's gonna have over 1,000 yards this year. I think he's gonna be one of three guys on this offense that I think have over 1,000 yards on their team, and I've been sticking to that. I think Pitts, Mooney, and London are all gonna have over 1,000 yards this year. That might be a hot take, but I just have this gut feeling Darnell Mooney's just gonna be a freak this year in fantasy, and I think getting him this late, for me at least, I consider a steal. He hasn't had like the best years there in Chicago outside of 1 year with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback quite some time ago, but I think he's a talented receiver. I think he'll fill a wide receiver two spot really well, kind of like Jordan Addison last year for Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk's gonna find him the ball quite a bit, along with Pitts and London. So yeah,
Yeah, you got him for free, so like I like it.
yeah, I think that was a good pick, Brandon.
Uh,
I took
if
the
you
49ers defense. Enough said.
uh, Baker as a backup quarterback, I think he's a really good backup quarterback. He's consistent. For as my QB2, I have no problems with him being my QB2. We can probably skip ahead to
I was gonna say I only took one QB for this draft. I'm sick of having the QB curse where all my QBs get hurt. Caleb Williams is gonna dominate for me this year. I took Coup, Cowboys defense, but ultimately the steal of the draft of the whole entire draft was Wandale Robinson with Danny Dimes. Bring me to the championship. Let's run it.
Ryan, I think you need to draft 3 quarterbacks this year with your luck. So that's just my opinion because at least you can cover the bases. But yeah, I don't hate your Wandell Robinson pick because I think that that wasn't too bad. So um Ethan, what did you want to say anything about your you know
defense is good.
last few picks?
They have Sauce Gardner. Um, Green Bay's kicker. He's a rookie, so I don't know a lot about the rookie, but he plays for Green Bay, so he's got to make a lot of kicks, right?
I also do want to say this. I think a lot of people sleep on kickers and defense. I really do think kickers and defense separate fantasy games. Um, why take the Niners over the Cowboys? No idea. But the Cowboys would definitely win me some games with this team.
Hey, I wish you the best of luck. Every year I draft a cowboy that I've ever drafted a cowboy. The last time I did, they've always not done well. So I will never draft a cowboy again. But anyways, in regards to mine, yeah, uh, um, Ricky Purcell. I don't know if a lot of people, know him
We do.
that well, but I do think that he's going to be one of the receivers that could come out and have a really good year. So uh, I think that I don't think he's going to have a Puka year, obviously, with their other weapons, but I do think that he's a guy that might be under the radar, and and I do see him having a good year.
I think he might have been better off taking a New England receiver there, but like a Demario Douglas or KJ Osborne, or I don't know. I don't see him doing too much with the way that offense is already set up. But it's late in the draft, so I mean, this pick really doesn't impact your team much at all. So
No, and when I look at later in the draft, I'm kind of like most people. I'm kind of looking at, okay, who's somebody that hasn't been drafted that I think could possibly be a guy that has a year that nobody expects to have.
yeah, yeah. For me, like if I had to pick a receiver here, I don't hate the pick. It's like late in the draft. It's not gonna make like much of an impact. I probably would have taken a chance on one of the New England receivers. No one really knows who the wide receiver one's gonna be there. I would have taken Douglas personally. I thought he played pretty well last year, and I wouldn't hate to see if he grew a connection there with me. But I don't know anything about the Patriots right now, like so. I don't know. It doesn't like impact too much this late, so
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Well, hey guys, Brandon, I don't think you just drafted a defense and kicker. Did you want to say anything about that, or are you good?
nah, I don't really value them too high. Like, yeah, they get you points, but my kickers and defenses change throughout the year. So for me, drafting the Eagles, fine. Drafting Moody, 49ers will always be scoring, so that's just free point or 3 points or whatever it may be. So
Well, I just want to say, Ethan, Ryan, thanks for joining us for this mock draft. Really, appreciate you guys' insight and your thoughts. I know that we don't always agree on everything, but you know that's what makes it fun, right?
Absolutely.
So, I think this was a great first mock draft, and I don't want to speak for Wigs, but I definitely hope we can do a few more of these with you guys. As we get closer to the NFL year, because I think that this is this will be beneficial for other people to see, and maybe they don't agree with us, maybe they do agree with us, right? Everybody's got a different take on different players, so thanks for you guys jumping in and giving your insight because it's really appreciated on our end.